Hi, my name's John Mielecki. I'm the sales manager for Tucker Sno-Cat Corporation. We would like to provide our customers with some summer service tips. I would now like to introduce our service manager, Sterling Mathis.
Thank you, John. Hello. In this video, we'd like to go over our Tier 3 cat. In our first video, we went over the Tier 4, which basically has a different filter package, a different emissions package, and a different intake package. Tier 3 cat, we made these for several years, so we have literally hundreds of these machines out here. And basically, you know, in for a service, we're trying to look at preventative maintenance, things that we can catch and see, catch them before they break and before they're completely worn out to eliminate downtime. This cat here is an 09. It's basically been in here every year since it was new, and I think that really has helped contribute to no downtime for this operator. When the cats come in, you know, we do a great walk around visual inspection. I will generally start with the blade section of it, and from the blade we can really grab that guy and kind of give him a good shake, see if anything's too loose, if any of your ears are bent on that. And again, you can look at your hydraulic cylinders, make sure all your mounting pins and hardware are in good shape. We can look at the hoses. You know, we do a good job of spiral wrapping and isolating all the hoses, but from time to time you will get some hose on metal contact, and over time that can give you a little wear spot. So something as simple as a zip tie, can isolate that and keep that from wearing anymore. Next big thing we like to focus on as I'm working my way back is a nice visual of our tracks and road wheels. And you know, a trained eye can see a lot here. You can look at your drive sprocket, look for your leading edge wear or your back edge wear. This can kind of tell you a lot of whether this cat's been ran in dry conditions or if they've actually been fortunate enough to have some snow. Again, you can look at all your wheels, looking for any excessive wear on the inside or outside. I will generally jack the cat up, grab this carrier, try to rock it back and forth, make sure we don't have any excessive play in the carriers. Good idea to look on the back side of the wheel, make sure none of the sills have been pushed out from over greasing, and you can really give a good visual of each track, each carrier, each set of wheels, and that can kind of give you a good idea of where you're at on that. From there, I try to look at my slider block clamps, kind of looking at your gap between the frame and the clamp. Typical to see a little bit of bow on that, not a big issue of concern. Is when it would become a problem would be if your poly block has worn a big groove in your plate over an extended amount of time, and then that gap between the slider block and the frame gets to where you really don't have much of a gap. So we can come in there and put some hardened metal in there to raise that back up and keep that going without having to put a new fifth wheel plate in it. Next, I kind of move back to my swing arm and my steering cylinder section. In here we have a few components that are metal on metal, and just due to the nature of what they are, they will have some wear. Good part to check is you can grab your steering wheel with the cat running, move that wheel back and forth, and make sure there's not a lot of movement on that rod without it actuating the steering swing. Again, a pin here and a steering clevis, and also at the butt end of that cylinder. Those are all metal on metal connections, so over time they could get oblonged. Another good thing to keep your eye on are your tie rod ends and your boots on the tie rods themselves. Make sure that they're not split. You keep them greased. You can also look here and see your front and rear differentials. Make sure your pinion sill's not leaking. Shake those U-joints up and down. Make sure we don't have excessive play in there. And really try to look at all the welds on the cat, especially on this side of the frame, because this steering cylinder with these wide tracks, you do get a lot of stress in here, so you're always looking at all your welds, making sure we're structurally sound. And from there, kind of go back, obviously looking to see that we see no drips underneath the cat. From here we get into the engine compartment. On our Tier 3s, on the passenger side, near the radiator shroud, there's going to be a placard, as there is with our Tier 4s. On the Tier 3, it's going to tell you lubrication spots, types of fluids, and a basic amount, general amount and type of fluid that goes in each compartment. I like to get in here and not only look at all of my intake hoses, but go ahead and get my hands on them and fill them and make sure that there's not anything loose in there. We like to change our coolant every 2 years. Recommend keeping your diesel tank full in the off season so that we don't get excessive moisture in there. And another thing I found is, a lot of these cats have toolboxes on the rear deck, and while that's perfectly fine, one thing we would recommend would be that you don't have your toolbox on there, loaded with 200, 300, 400 pounds of gear, and let that stay on there over the whole summer. Just take a few minutes, unload it, get some of the weight off of that. It'll help the cat out over the long time. And I think that's about it for this video. Thank you.